Can't believe it's gone by so quick, huh?
Well, it's been obviously a little unique in that, by breaking it up into really 2 spring segments or 2 spring ball sets. It has gone by relatively quickly. Getting the 6 practices in prior to finals and spring break. Those 2 weeks with 6 practices, and then coming back and now finishing up our 7th practice of the 2nd set has been good. It's been really refreshing on that aspect of it. I think that our energy's been very good. As I said before, I think sometimes spring ball can get a little bit monotonous when it's just the daily grind of going against one another. But I thought our spirits have been good, on both sides of the ball. And I know we get 2 more to go here, one Thursday and then obviously Saturday at Memorial Stadium. So just want to maximize those opportunities that we get.
Have you figured out how you want to set up Saturday and what you're going to do?
We're a little bit nicked up. So what we'll do is we're going to have a practice with scrimmage segments broken out in between. So we'll have 4 scrimmage segments broken out in a practice format. That being said, there should be some fun stuff that takes place, some different competitions we'll do, whether they're throwing competitions, kicking competitions, really trying to get the fans involved with some fan play calls and different things. So we're trying to make it beneficial for us so that we maximize our time on the field, but also make it entertaining for our fans and so that they feel good about our Husky football team for 2013.
You're going to have full pads and full hitting and all that stuff?
Yeah, we'll have all that. We'll have uniforms and all that stuff on.
Quarterbacks being purple or yellow?
Well, they'll be in their game uniforms. They won't be live next Saturday. It'll be traditional practice format that way.
So will there be a score kept of any sort?
No. We're going to do situational work. Be stuff, red zone, 2-minute backed up situations, overtime, things like that.
Coach, we saw Cleveland Wallace out there a little bit with the defense today. Is there anything you could talk to about that?
I've been really impressed with Cleveland. He's been a guy that we had high hopes for coming out of last fall. This kid who redshirted for us. He's really talented. He's got a very high football IQ, a good feel for the game, but also he's an excellent return man. And I think now that after redshirting, a lot like Travell Dixon, sometimes when you redshirt and you're on the scout team all year, it takes a minute when you get into spring ball. Then you have to have the discipline to use our calls, our techniques, our fundamentals. And I think that he's really improved. And he looked good today, made some plays on the ball, broke up some passes. So another good young defensive back for us that not only this year but for our future looks really good.
It seems like the offensive line is pretty much the starting guys have been kind of the same 5 from now till from the start of spring to now. I guess was that anticipate that would kind of go that way?
Well, we didn't know. We were seeing if anybody could bump anybody out of there. I think if we were to play a game, we probably would play 7 to 8 offensive linemen, quite honestly, especially when we get Tanagawa back. So, we're going to see some different guys play it with the tempo that we're playing at. I think to realistically think you're only going to play 5 linemen for that many number of snaps isn't realistic. So, I think, Eric Kohler's coming along. I think when we get Tanagawa back, I think, Shane Brossick's got an ankle thing that's hobbled him some, but those guys will give us some opportunity to step in and play and do some good stuff for us. So I feel good about what those 5 guys have done, but when they get fatigued, they struggle some. So we have to be ready and willing early on in practice, early on in games to sub those guys just as if we would in a practice so that they don't get too fatigued for late in the ball game.
So that's a real contrast. So I guess the last spring, it seemed like guys were just kind of coming in and out the whole time. Is that something that could really benefit you guys, you hope, going forward?
Even in the last fall camp, as the guys were getting injured in fall camp last year, it felt like a new face or a new number in there at right guard, then left guard, then right tackle. So to have some consistency for those guys from a communication standpoint is good. And I think that it shows in their play. I don't know if today was necessarily their best day, but they've done some nice things for us.
What have you liked to center from Chris, and what does he still need to get better with?
Well, he's a really strong guy. He's strong on the lower half in that he can anchor, and he's going against a great nose tackle in Danny Shelton right now. He's a very bright young man, so he can make the calls and communicate. And he's athletic enough to do some of the things that we ask our centers to do. We pull him at times. We ask him to get to the second level. Like I said, this spring he's been forced to have a 340-pound nose tackle on his nose all camp long. But we're going to play plenty of teams that play more of an even front, which nobody will be on him, and he's going to be asked to get up on the second level, so you need that athleticism. So that's been good. I think that what's taxing at the center position in this offense as well is conditioning, and then the ability to snap accurately, consecutively, and consistently over time. And he's primarily done that. He's had a couple here or there, but for the most part, he's been good.
Is Kohler settling in at any one spot at all? Or?
I'm moving him around some right now to be somewhat of a utility guy. When we get back to fall camp, we'll settle him in more. But we really need a backup tackle, which he can provide that. We're going to need a backup guard. He can provide that. And he can provide being a backup center. Now, when we come back to fall camp and he's fully healthy and he's in great shape, then we'll let the competition, really wage on for who's going to be one of those starting 5 guys.
Derek Wilson seemed to be hobbled? Or?
Yeah, just a little nicked up, nothing serious. I think that we've been rotating some of these backs. These backs have gotten a lot of carries this spring, whether Dwayne's had a day or 2 off, Bishop's had a couple days off. Just felt fitting to get Eric a light day.
Josh Perkins, just real quick, seen him out there a little bit, making some plays.
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah, anything you can say to him?
Josh has been a real pleasant surprise for us. He's been somewhat of a hybrid, kind of a slot receiver, tight end for us. I think that the one thing Josh has done consistently is when we've thrown him the ball, he's catching it.
Yep.
And that, first and foremost, if you're going to be a receiver tight end, that's paramount to what you're doing. But he's also showing the focus and attention to detail in his route running, his blocking. I think he's been really engaged in our day-to-day activities, and all of that shows when he goes out and plays. He's got good energy. He's doing things right. He's competing. I think he's going to help us this fall.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of role reversal. You had the wide receivers play DBs today. How do you think they did?
Well, it was fun. I always, we've done that a couple times in the past, but I think, like I said, in spring ball, guys, they keep going against each other over and over and over again. It can, they start knowing the guy's moves, this guy's techniques, and so sometimes when you switch it up and let them see the other side of it, and how difficult either side is, it's kind of fun, and they got all excited about it. So it'll give them something to hoot and holler about in the team meeting on Thursday.
Shaq looked pretty good on that one play. You think about putting him on a wide receiver now too?
All right, guys,
Thanks,
have a great
Coach.
day.
You too.